Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a Memorial Day edition of Rage Across New York for Living World of Darkness. We start our scene this evening at a women's shelter that is run by the kin and other guru of the Sect of the Green, namely the Black Furies, of course. This women's shelter Callie has been ever since she received the bow from Waspstinger. Is the women's shelter that she delivers deer meat to on a weekly basis, regardless of whether or not she's been relieved of that duty for time served or fulfilling a promise. It's not really up for discussion. Callie does it because she likes to. After the events of Freya Frozenhammer's Forge that nearly took the life of one Bettina Stewart, Callie saw to it that Bettina was delivered and monitored at the women's shelter. Callie making it emphatically clear that Bettina, in her estimation, was a suicide risk after, well, essentially telling a Get a Fenris that you're not going to breed and driving them to the point of them willing to rend you in half. Callie is certain that, at least in her small mind, that is exactly what Bettina set out to do. All the same, Callie does feel for the Get a Fenris kinfolk and can't help but assist at this point, at least trying to get her to the point where perhaps she can remain functional within the Sept, if not the nation as a whole. And so, Callie, after leaving Bettina for a short while to take care of a few things from the Sept, returns and comes up to the room that Bettina was given to rest and simply knocks on the door gently.
Who is it?
It's, Callie.
Come in. Says a blurry, tired voice.
Callie will open the door and comes in with two white styrofoam boxes filled to the brim with heroes. And so she comes in with fries, heroes, and soft drinks, and sets them down on a dresser and pulls up a chair. Where's Bettina sitting?
She's on the bed. She was kind of examining how her scar healed up. Because she's not genetically predisposed to keloiding, and because of where it happened, it healed up okay. She's got silver streaks going up her stomach and a little bit of keloid scar going on in her chest, but overall it's amazing how well Kotori was able to heal her. So she was just looking that over.
Callie pulls a chair up to the side of the bed and offers up one of the packages. Hungry?
Very. My thanks.
And she'll hand it over. A wonderfully made hero of the toughest quality.
And Bettina will not waste much time on manners and just begin to dig into it. Watching you.
Callie kind of offers a genuine smile and a chuckle seeing Bettina dig into it, and her expression is sort of a mix between confused, a little agitated, and somewhat sad, even though she's putting on airs of kindness, at least as best as she can with her limited social pools. So, Frozenhammer was ready to rip you apart when I came in there. She might have done the same to me if it hadn't been for some astute observations that seemed to strike a chord with that Ragabash Fenrir.
even when you feel like you've fallen as far as you can, old habits formed over a lifetime take so long to deprogram out of your head. So even now she can't bring herself to look ungrateful and says, yes, thank you for saving my life.
Do it for anyone in this set. Especially kinfolk. It's one of our prime directives as Garou, is to make sure that we protect you from the worm, the weaver, and if need be, the Garou as a whole.
It happens a lot. And Bettina doesn't actually like lift her top up too much, but lifts it up to show her back, to show a lattice work of older scars.
Kelly is going to have to for a manipulation and subterfuge to not cringe. Because it's probably going to be pretty apparent with her. One success. Do you want to make a perception roll? 4 dice?
Yeah, sure. I guess she took the time to play show and tell, so I guess she would be looking to see if this registers at all.
You can tell very plainly that this, looking at it, that Callie, there's a look in her that seems to be almost that what Bettina's been through instantly sort of tugs at her heartstrings, and you can see it that she almost looks pained when she looks at those scars and has to look visibly sort of hold herself back to keep from trying to touch her back to offer some sort of condolence or just compassion.
Similar things have happened before. When I was at home.
Did Blitz ever do that to you?
No. No, he's very modern. He's very American.
Is that why you don't want to read with him?
No. No, we were going to breed eventually, but and it dawns on her because the way the fight went in that previous scene, she didn't actually know that Callie knew why Freya was lashing out at her. She winces a little bit. No, I was informed that the child would not be a viable Garou, and I lost my motivation to breed. And for a lot of things.
Callie sort of
shakes
her
needed
head.
some time. And it seems like I can't get some time to clear my head.
What makes you think that that David is not going to be a viable option?
Uh, my husband is a viable option. I don't know. Maybe it's something in my genetics.
Your
Although I
son.
didn't. Wait, what?
I've read about your son.
How have you read about my son?
Oh. Um, Leah had pages.
Oh, God. Vinny, could you give me a willpower roll? 5 dice.
5 days?
Yeah. God.
1 success.
Okay. Let's punch the wall instead.
Kelly doesn't say word one. She just kind of sits there and maybe understands a little all too well, at least in spirit, what Bettina's anger might be like, or at least a taste of it.
The spirits are playing games, and I need time to breathe and figure this out, and I can't get any time.
Were you trying to kill yourself?
I don't really know what my worth is. Honestly, when I would do similar things that got a rise out of people at Bloodfist, they'd beat me down, but not in so much that I was actually killed, because my family and my pure breed. But now that I'm not going to breed, I don't actually know what my worth is. I don't really know much of myself outside of all of this. I don't really talk to humans.
You don't ever talk to anybody in the Sept?
No, I only talk to people in the Sept.
No. I can understand wanting to converse with normal people.
I can't. I've never wanted it before. But now that I feel that the spirits are malicious and just playing games with me, kind of want to know more. I don't know what I want. I don't know what I want. I don't even know if I still want to pass my GED test, which is something I thought I really wanted.
That's something you should do for you and no other reason, Bettina.
But everything seems very small right now.
Well, I can imagine that. Taking a claw attack from a 9-foot death machine would probably tend to do that to anybody that's not also a 9-foot tall death machine.
I have. Hold on. I actually cannot feel anything, and she scoots up her pants on her left leg. I cannot feel anything in this left leg, and that's because my sciatic nerve has been severed. And to stop the continuous pain that Garu's punishment gave me, they had to cut off all the receptors, so I couldn't receive any more actual potentials. I don't know the English word for it.
Kelly speaks German, so
Okay. Action potentials are the amount of force that your nerves actually receive. So they did a procedure to actually like cut it off so that she stopped getting all the pain in her leg. But that's when Akrinos attacked her one time.
Kelly will respond in Bettina's native tongue. And even though she does have an accent of an outsider speaking the language, she still speaks it very well. That's terrible.
I was told not to think too much of it, and I didn't.
I don't know how the Fenrir treat their kinfolk. I've seen Blitz, and he, from everything I could see, was treating you well.
He's American, but I will admit that I had a talent for making them angrier.
Kelly chuckles. Yeah, my sister has that too. But that's why I like her. Well, one of many reasons, anyway.
I don't like that she can read about me. Is there important strategic information in there?
It talks about the various things that happened. It talks about you and my dad and another kinfolk I've not met before. Somebody by the name of Kenji.
Is
Living in
is
that asylum.
there anything of strategic importance?
Little mentions of your son fighting in a resistance movement and other seps falling around the area, and then it just gets worse from there.
Then I suppose I don't mind her having the pages.
We can get the important things written down if you want them.
No, it changes. Those pages change.
No fate but what we make for ourselves.
No, they're no fate, but no fate, but what the Garu give us, and what the spirits inflict on us.
You think this was done to you in some malicious manner?
I don't understand. What's going on? I thought I had it under control.
What did you have under control that you don't now?
The marriage, actually, and my place in the sept. I thought I would be fine and that I had it under control. And then I came to having no recollection of going to Kenji's restaurant. And then all this happens.
Well,
I need to think.
You did give Blitz a text message. I don't know if you're aware of that or not. Can I ask you something? And it's of a personal nature, so if you don't want to, I'd understand.
Okay.
Did you want to hurt him, Blitz?
By refusing to breed?
By breaking his heart?
I can't have his baby.
Because your child goes on to be a resistance fighter?
And Bettina thinks about driving that chair leg into that thing's mouth. And she looks really distant.
What are you so afraid of?
I'm a very tired coward. And I am also out of my depth. There's a lot going on here that I don't understand. I feel completely unprepared. Are you holding me here?
Until I know that you're not going to hurt yourself, yes. I don't know how much you know about Pegasus's daughters, but after seeing what happened to you and the situations that you've been in, there's a certain responsibility I feel towards you. And if I were to now, after helping you, let something terrible happen to you, I'd be failing in my duty.
All Bettina has heard of the Black Furies are what the Git have told her. Because the Git of Germany long ago did have run-ins with the Black Fury.
Mm-hmm.
Along the lines of, they're after our cocks, they like to cut our cocks off.
Does Bettina convey that?
No, because it's such an odd... It may be confusion, I suppose. I think I want to take a breather.
In what way?
I don't know what I'm gonna do.
The Furies have had a long-standing history of offering women and children in situations like yours refuge. If it's so absolutely unbearable living in New York, if you need a breather, if you need time away, I can get in contact with the sept I grew up in Colorado. They, it's right there in the Rockies. It's a beautiful country, and it's a very tranquil place. And I know my sisters would treat you well there.
You mean well, and I thank you for your very generous offer. But what I asked was for a break from the Garu. I've never had it before.
In good faith, I want to let you go. and let you do whatever you want to do. But I owe it to someone that's been a mentor and a good friend to me to at least try and get you two on right footing with each other. Even if it doesn't end up with you two getting back together. You're causing Blitzkrieg a massive amount of pain. I've seen that pain before. He loves you, I think, with every bit of his being, and he doesn't know what to do. He wants to know what he can do to make it right for his wife, the woman he cares about.
He shows his emotions very easily.
Suppose he's American in that sense, but it's something we do here. But even the most stalwart Fenrir can be brought to his knees by a pain of the heart.
By your words, it sounds like you think that all this has caused me no pain.
No,
I take that as a strong compliment.
I think it goes without saying. Somebody who's not in any amount of pain doesn't look as confused as you do.
If you do not let me go, I am your prisoner.
You can see that doesn't sit well with Callie at all. She visibly looks disgusted at that terminology as she sort of shifts in her chair slightly. How do I know you're not going to do something self-destructive?
I'll think how displeased Gaia would be.
That didn't stop you from saying you're not going to mate.
You cannot know, but you are not my mother.
I'm not. I'm your age. I'm Garu. I'm not elected to be breeding stock, in a manner of speaking, by our own nation.
Callie, if I may be so informal with you, Callie,
Yes?
I have been informed that even though I don't want to, I give David a pity fuck to try and raise his spirits for the war. I don't want to see him because I don't want to sink so low. I had originally wanted to see him and I gave him my contact details. But now I don't trust myself. The
What is it about your...
spirits
about,
are me.
what is it about the future that you saw that reviles you so? Be honest with me.
I need to go to the restroom.
Kelly looks at Bettina. You owe me that much.
You give your entire life up for this. And you think that you're going to get an eternal reward. And when you find out that it's not coming, you feel like an idiot. When you find out, when it's confirmed that your actions cannot change what happens, it's reinforced that you missed so many opportunities. I don't even know what I am without the Garu. I don't know what I'm like. And I think I hold on to the GED just for that. I told myself it was a way to get better jobs, to serve everybody. But in reality, I like to go into the classes, even if they were hard.
Say, hypothetically, I were to let you go. That I were to tell my sisters, even though I don't believe that you're not a threat to yourself or the nation. Let's say that I told them that. What would you do for yourself? Where would you go? Who would you go to?
I have some money saved up. I think I'd get a hotel room.
And then what?
I don't know.
So you'd be a kinfolk with a substantial amount of pure breed without protection, without anybody looking out for you. Alone in a city where we know black spirals exist, where they dwell, where they patrol. You think that the potential of what's going to happen in the pages of that journal that you wrote in a hypothetical future that clearly isn't set in stone, at least by your accounting, you think that's worse than being dragged into a hive. Something I've seen firsthand and subjugated to a worm minion, a worm creature, that will take what it wants from you by force and truly put a mutated child in you and force you to rear it. And then once you're recovered enough, probably do the same thing over and over and over again.
Callie.
Kelly is sort of staring at Bettina with a very intense look in her face.
My family has a story. It's only about 100 years old. So I can't even call it a folk story, but pretty much my family line was founded on rape. Because that's what the word is. It's rape. My brother, I was really happy with him when he finally did change. I was so afraid for so long. Because things, as rough as my life was over there, things were rougher for him. He changed. And I encouraged him, actually, when he went out on the raids, to take what was his. Because it's a power thing. That's what all of this is. That's what it always is. You're giving up your power. And The threat of rape has followed us for so long. Kelly, why is rape so threatening to you?
Kelly stands up abruptly and walks to the window, turning somewhat pale.
Use the words.
Kelly's one hand has come up to the windowsill, and you hear a scratching sound as her hand has formulated into a claw, and she's wincing very hard, looking out the window and dragging her hand down the wood, sort of biting her lip to the point where it bleeds. You don't know what I've seen.
When my brother came back, he was very new to Hamid and didn't have all the words. And people smile when they don't know what the right reaction is. You've got either that choice to scream or to laugh, when you're surprised. But yeah, she's slightly smiling. And he came back and he told me about the battle. And he told me how the other sept was devastated. They expected some sort of retaliation, but it wouldn't for a while. And he told me about 3 of the kinfolk. Lupus. He described it as an adrenaline rush. He told me he wasn't in his right head. He told me he was he felt crazed, but it was exciting. He could barely see them as he did it.
Kelly's lip sort of pops slightly as her teeth just bite through it. And she kind of looks down.
He wondered if the third one was dead.
Stop.
He never went back to look.
Stop. Callie turns back and her eyes are streaming with tears. Why would you tell me that?
Because my alternative, being dragged into a black spiral hive and raped to death, be dragged back into a world I no longer understand, and to bear a child I don't want. And I'm losing control either way. I have a slight chance of finding out what this all means with the spirits, but I need to get away. I need to clear my mind and get away from the madness. But I am losing control in either situation.
So you don't care about your husband.
She says the words in German because she's not, not sure how to articulate herself, but basically she wants to compartmentalize. She doesn't want to think whatever's going on there because she knows that he is acting correctly, and she knows that she is acting incorrectly towards him. But she can't properly concentrate on that now when she feels that the spirits are messing about. There were a lot of things that she wanted to concentrate on before all this started. And yeah, she returns to English.
You're putting me in one of the worst situations I can think of. Choosing between a friend who I know is desperately trying to act in your best interest, and my feelings in this matter as of Black Fury.
Kelly,
What?
that night by the fire, as my brother in his new form sat weeping to me, crying into my shoulder, I embraced him, congratulated him, and I told him, "You are Garou now."
You think that magically makes it all better, that somehow being Garou shelters us from that kind of emotion, that kind of pain?
And Bettina is frustrated to herself. This whole conversation about power plays and control just completely over this woman's head, but this is somebody that can frenzy, can hurt her, and can... Does Bettina want to die? She still doesn't know. So, perhaps you see her brow furrow in frustration, but Bettina doesn't pursue. How annoying it is.
There's a part of me, a large part of me, that wants to go through that door and leave it open for you.
But
If I were to let you go, in a manner of speaking, because you're not a prisoner here, at least not until... not in the sense that you're implying. If you were to leave, and I were to let you go, and something were to happen to you, whether you did it to yourself, whether you went to another get, and they did the same to you, or if you went out there and a spiral found you, or another creature, another person decided to do something to you, something horrible happened to you, that would be my fault. That would be my dereliction of duty. Because Pegasus has charged us to look out for women just like you.
you hold me here. It is against my will. You're Garou. You are in control. Over me. The misery drips off her voice.
Callie sits there and thinks, running over many scenarios in her head. She chews on her injured lip a bit more. She crosses her arms and paces. And Bettina can see very clearly that she is very much conflicted. And finally, she stops. I have to confer with someone else. I have to talk to someone I trust, and someone who has a level head. Someone who isn't as close to this as I am. If she tells me to let you go, I'll take you as far away as you want to go and see you off.
I just want you to open the door.
Callie reaches out and puts a hand on Bettina's shoulder. I can't do that. For more reasons than you know.
No. I think I know what it is.
Out of character, I might regret asking this later. In character, Callie sort of frowns and looks at Bettina. What is it then?
If you don't open that door, everything I've said about the Garou seems correct. It's a hard life with no reward.
Someone once told me that a life of service to something greater than yourself is supposed to be its own reward. I can tell you right now, doing justice to the service that I'm supposed to be in is breaking my goddamn heart. Give me 48 hours. Give me 48 hours and the life debt that you owe to me is repaid. if I can't give you a definitive reason for you to stay here, in 48 hours, I'll just be Vigilant Bo, Hikaru who let one slip through between the cracks. And I'll bear that shame if I have to. In either case, if I get you out of here, you have to agree to something.
What?
There is a Klukos within my tribe camp. They specialize in getting battered women into safe situations.
Give her a willpower roll.
Jeez.
Battered women. The fuck?
That's what Callie believes. You got claw marks all over you. She can't help it. 3 successes?
Fuck. 3 successes. Okay, fine.
You
You're
can
gonna
punch
see...
her if you want to.
What?
I said, if you want to punch her, punch her.
No. No, because she's working Callie.
Yeah, I hadn't noticed.
So you're gonna see some eyebrow action. That's like it. Tattered women. She's taken down a Garu before. Okay, whatever. What was she supposed to be agreeing to? Oh, God, Bettina's actually forgotten. Yes, she says.
I wish you would go back to Blitzkrieg.
I wish you would open the door.
We're at an impasse. At least for the next 48 hours.
Two days is a long time to be a prisoner. To have absolutely no agency. When I just told you I wanted some control in my life.
Well, that's the thing about duty. Duty is doing what you need to do, what's right to do, above your own self-interest. And as much as I sympathize with you about it, that is something I see you're clearly lacking.
No, Bettina freely admitted that. To Freya already. She doesn't know what's going on.
I'll see you in 48 hours. Do we have an accordance?
Thank you for the heroes.
Bettina can see that clearly something has clicked in Callie's head as she stands up. And she walks towards the door. "48 hours or sooner, I'll be back." If for some reason you're not here, there's going to be nothing I can do to stop them from getting to you. Even though you probably don't care. Just remember that every moment you have in this realm, from the moment I scooped you up out of that pool of your own blood, is a gift from me. And with that, she'll walk out the door.
Okay, Bettina will go back to texting.
And on her way down, she's just simply going to inform her associates that Bettina is more danger to herself than she originally thought. And I think there we can end our scene.
Mm-hmm.